Good evening, everybody. This is Rob with another edition of Horror Pop After Midnight. And my guest tonight is writer and director Jerod Brennon. And I also have actresses Jenny Key and Marian Key. And we're going to talk about their sci-fi horror near future short film Beyond Control. How's it going, guys?
Hi,
good. Robin, great. Thanks for having us.
Yes. On Beyond Control, how'd you come up with that? Jerod?
We've been working together with the Whispering Demon production crew for years. Derek Stewart, one of the writers on the project, who's had his own fair share of screenings at Nightmares and other horror fest. We sat down and looked at the cast that we had, which it's a bigger cast, especially for a time-constrained short. And I work in cybersecurity, have for the past 20 years. Big fan of Black Mirror. Thrilled that there's a new season
Amen.
On the way. And we decided we wanted a big story that had a Black Mirror vibe to it. We wanted to give everybody something to do. And obviously AI is in the news quite a bit right now. So even before, I think there's... folks are proposing legislation to regulate who can make AI and publish it because we're moving too fast. We don't have guardrails in place. And, we joke about Skynet, but there's some pretty disruptive stuff happening already. So we took those ideas and took the cast, played around with a few options, and ultimately landed on the game show, the augmented reality game.
And it was filmed in a warehouse. Where'd you find this warehouse at where you guys filmed it?
I don't think they want me to talk about their location by name. But it's wild. Robin, a friend of my wife's that goes to church with her, which was funny because I had to, there's some language right there. There wasn't anything wildly inappropriate in the short. Marian has a great line that might earn it an R rating. So we had to clear that. And the folks there said, we work in a warehouse. You're not going to say anything we haven't said ourselves. But we got permission to shoot there for 2 weekends, and then had just a scheduling miss. It's tough with these shorts. You've only got a few weeks. You get everybody lined up, and then somebody says, "Oh, I thought you meant Saturday and not or Sunday, not Saturday," which meant some last minute rewrites. But we thought it worked out really well.
So, Marian, can you say that famous line?
Go for it, girl.
Okay. No, not fuck. Kill. If you want to participate? Is it participate? Mm-hmm. If you want to participate in the games, you must... Wait, I don't even, remember the line.
She's like doing other
I
things.
said so much other things.
They just wanted to hear the swearing, girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. Fuckity fuck.
Jerod, what have you done to my daughter?
Okay, Marian.
I'm a woman now.
Okay, Marian, I'm going to ask you this question. How were you picked to play the AI, and how much preparation did you prepare for yourself to play artificial intelligence? Because I don't know how you did it. I mean, you turned it on and off. You had me convinced you were a legit AI, And how did you get the mannerisms and how you moved your smile and eyes? That was kind of creepy.
Yeah, well, before we filmed it, we were talking about in the Hunger Games, Caesar Flickerman.
Yeah.
So we watched that because that kind of gave us my role kind of gave it Caesar Flickerman vibes, kind of, creepy game show smiley. And so we watched that, and then that's kind of how we got it to be that weird game showy kind of thing. And we also talked about Siri, kind of, the Siri voice, hey Siri. So that was kind of how I would talk ish.
And then I think with Wednesday Addams did all those scenes without blinking, and we thought that was really creepy. So I think she did a lot of either purposeful blinks or
They're so
kept her
purposeful.
eyes open a little bit longer than was natural.
Yeah, I had to not blink for one time, and I kept like blinking and be like, "Oh, my eyes are watering."
But I have to say that smile was so creepy. That got under my skin, and that takes a lot for me when I watch like horror films or anything. But you really did creep me out with that grin, man. I was like, oh, I don't want her to try to come through my laptop.
Well, I guess I can. I'm an AI.
I gotta say too, Marian takes direction like a pro.
Okay.
We shot for 2 days, and they were full days, right? So you're talking, everybody rolls in at 7, go until 5, 6 o'clock until we get kicked out. I had to have Jenny remind me that Marian's not an adult.
Yeah.
And that sometimes she might want to break where it might not occur to me in the midst of the shooting. But every time I needed a different take, a different delivery, even like you said, notice with the physicality of the role, it's like one time I say, "Hey, can you do this?" And she's got it. It absolutely blew me away.
I think so too. Let's also talk about the cast. That's pretty interesting, how you had like a origin story for each of the cast members. I mean, you had the two lovers, the one who had cancer. Then you had the father and daughter, where the father was pressuring the daughter, to go to college, and she wasn't even old enough yet. And then you had the boyfriend and girlfriend, and then you had the one guy, which was pretty interesting. He kind of creeped me out a little bit. When you watch him, he had everything peculiar about him, but he knew everything. So how'd you come up with the quiet individual where the AI couldn't figure him out?
That was again, having worked with these people for years. Jenny and I have been shooting together for 18 years. Jenny, I looked it up, 18 years.
Wow.
And John Grody, who played the loner. Yeah. He and I have been shooting together almost that long. It was shortly after that I met John on a production. And coming into this shoot, I wanted to give all of these people a role that had some meat, something they could sink their teeth into. And as a writer, which is first and foremost, that's my passion. I wanted everybody to have stakes. I wanted everybody to have growth. If you go back and watch the short again, the relationships between every couple have changed by the end of this 10-minute short.
Oh, heck yeah.
Because enough has happened that they now have a different understanding of the people that they rolled into the warehouse with. And I knew that I had the cast that could deliver that. Dan and Tiffany, the power couple, who showed up dressed to the nines. They had backstories for their characters. They had built this whole universe before they came in and delivered the first line. And I had that with everybody on the production.
And I love it how, Marian, the AI, told them, to go and find, their like little prize. And it was like all these different weapons. You like had a hammer, you had all kinds of things. And I'm like, ooh, this is going to be good. This is going to be like a little bloodbath in the warehouse. And I was getting
everything.
Yeah. And I was getting excited. I go, okay, how is she going to manipulate them? Is she going to like really get in their minds and they're going to just go all, batshit crazy on each other? And I was sitting there waiting. And I was like, come on, man, come on. It got me so intense. And I mean, I loved how it ended, like you said, where they, matured and, finally realized, there's more things in the, life than thinking of material things. But my favorite scene was between Marian and the loner, where the loner had that box knife by his throat, and he was gonna really kill himself. And Marian had that like weird like AI look because she couldn't read his mind because it was all foggy, and she had that look going, okay, what's he doing? How come I can't figure this out? What's he gonna do with this box cutter?
The probability that he would kill himself was very low.
Yeah, like, who would kill themselves? You want to live?
I don't know. There's some crazy people out there.
But he
wanted,
but then
I guess you to delete yourself.
Wouldn't the other people win if he would have killed himself? The other people would have won. But I mean, he
would have gotten his prize, which was you had to delete yourself. So
wait.
Now you got to put spoiler alert.
By killing himself.
Robin on the episode.
Oh, I definitely will. When I post,
then I guess they all won.
Yeah, when I post this, I'll be like, spoiler alert.
minor spoilers. I mean, it's 10 minutes. It goes by quick.
Well, I'll just
watch it first before you come into this interview, so that you don't have any spoilers.
That's right. Jenny, let's talk about you. You're an actress as well, and then I guess Marian and your other kids followed you with the acting bug. So what were your thoughts on that when you were acting for a while and then your kids wanted to be actors?
It's way more fun to help them act than it is to perform myself. But it's, everything's self-taped now. So really when they act, we get to act together. It's, you get to play with your kids and also sometimes get paid to do it. So it's pretty fun. I think they all have other interests that they're into as well. But we had a lot of time during COVID at home together and just started making like webisodes of the kids doing silly things, and they would write
episodes.
Like web episodes, like the morning keys.
I thought you just stumbled your words.
They would write some funny skits, like everything wrong with Hogwarts, or there's one where the younger two play video game characters controlled by the older two. But yeah, they had a lot of fun with that.
They ran into a tree for that.
They really commit.
Are these on YouTube?
They are.
Oh my goodness! Something to look up now.
I gotta look that up.
And that's how I learned to edit as well. So now I've done enough, of that kind of thing, and then self tapes that we edit. And I don't know. It's nice to do it with them because I stopped working as an attorney to stay home when I had the kids, and to be able to do these different endeavors with them. I don't know. It's priceless. And now I have it all recorded for, someday when they're all grown up, I can go back and rewatch all these things. It's pretty fun. She probably has a different story about how it is working with your mother, but I enjoy it.
So, Marian, what's it like working with your mother while you're on set, getting your business going?
Well, I think it's like nice. Like, she gives me tips and stuff. For like also self tapes and stuff, she gives me like tips and stuff. And then after she gives me the tip, she's like, "No, I think I like it better the way you did it."
That is true. I'm like, no, that's how a grown up would do it.
Because then I'm like doing it, and I sound like I'm 40.
40? So, Marian, did you give Jerod some tips too while you guys were filming Beyond Control? Did you have to give him a few tips too?
Well, I think, like, I had practiced a lot, like, at my house, so I, like, kind of knew how I wanted to say it already. And, like, you gave me tips and stuff. Like, you gave me some tips, but I think we mostly had it, like, already how we kind of wanted it at my house, like, before we were filming. So we kind of knew how we wanted to do it.
They worked together really well, actually. It was really fun to see, to just stand back and... kids come at it really naturally. If they're able to just be themselves openly, which I think she has that gift, they can, they've studied the character, they've thought about the character, and then they just play pretend. And so when you have somebody like Jerod who can just get in there and, he's a dad too, he can talk and get her to understand what he's looking for, they work together and create this new thing. And
yeah.
It happened really
We're the bestest besties, better than the resties.
Hey, I like that. So, Marian, are you a big horror fan? Has your mom let you watch any horror films?
Well, like, for things, I actually like her horror, but my mom's like, no, it has cuss words. And I'm like, you let me say them in movies. Yeah.
Getting called out here. You watched Stranger Things. You really liked that.
Yeah, well, I liked it, except I didn't like all the needles and stuff. That was just scary.
The hospital stuff was scarier than the monsters.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I get that. I really do.
So, Marian, what other projects have you done besides Beyond Control?
I did Welcome to Our Cabin from The director was Anthony
Codispati.
Yeah.
He worked together with the writer Shane Thompson.
Yeah, and then I'm going to be in one. I keep forgetting the name of this one.
Well, I think it's because they changed the name. It's now called From the Other Side, and it's actually by Brandon Jester is directing, and he was the cinematographer on Beyond Control. So that's how he met Marian.
Yeah.
And they hit it off and worked well together, and he saw that, she could take direction and offered her a part in this feature that he had written. So that's filming in June.
June 4th or something.
Yeah.
Or 1st.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So, Jerod, let's talk about the cinematography. I'm a big fan of cinematography. And, she mentioned, the cinematographer. I like some of the certain angles he used, especially when he was zooming right on Marian as the AI. I mean, he made that like a camera and Marian like $1 million. It felt like it was like one of the characters in the film, how he like shot her by the certain angles. You can feel like, the Black Mirror vibe off of it and the little creepiness of how he made Marian look on the camera.
Yeah, Brandon came recommended to us. He actually drove down from Cleveland to Columbus, where we shot, crashed on my couch, and then woke up 5 minutes later. He's in the car on his way to the location the next morning. He came introduced by Ann Trent. Ann played opposite Jenny, and Ann also got an associate producer credit for bringing folks. She helped out with the script. I mean, she was involved pretty heavily behind the scenes. I watched a lot of clips from Brandon. He's got a number of shorts available online, and found a couple that I said, this is the look I want. This is the vibe we're going for. Can you create that? Now I've shot on a number of different cameras over the years. And this is the first short that I've worked on in, I think, 4 years. And so I decided it was time to get a new kit. I got a new Blackmagic with 4 Rokinon lenses that gave us the opportunity to set up the look and feel to capture that Blackmagic raw and then translate that into the edit. And part of the process, I mentioned I love writing. I produce, direct, and edit just to give me more opportunities to write. So I've learned different editing packages. I cut this on DaVinci Resolve, and I knew coming in that if I needed a certain moment that in the edit, that I needed to lay that out in a shot list, and then Brandon and I were able to work together on where do we set the camera up? Do we have movement? Do we keep it on sticks? So he's, again, another pro. We got a lot done in those 2 days, and that's largely in part because all I had to do was go to the shot list, tell him once, he'd set it up. I'd turn around and work with the actors, come back, and he was ready to go.
So when Marian was playing the AI, was she wearing like black eye lenses?
Yeah, Marian, talk about the makeup you went through.
Well, our friend actually did my makeup because she's like really good at makeup. Actually, we actually wore a costume that was from the Hunger Games and then we wore a really old dance outfit that I wore when I was like 5, but it still fits me. And then we wore like a weird vest thing.
That was another dance outfit. There were like 2 different dance outfits over a Hunger Games costume.
It was really weird.
From Halloween a few years ago. But then she did your makeup, and she used like the air sprayer, the airbrush to make her really smooth. Oh my gosh,
my face was really pale.
And pale and perfect and simple. But she wasn't wearing any lenses. I think that was all the lighting and the cinematography made it just dark enough that they looked creepy. They didn't quite look human the way they lit it.
Yeah, and I had like so much makeup on because she put like a lot of stuff to make my face look like pale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it did. You did look like a pale android. You really did. But I love how he did that work in the cinematography. Because I thought you were wearing like deep black, lenses, man. They were like so demonic looking, like like the black-eyed children, those paranormal children with the big old eyes that kind of remind me of it. And I love when you were filming her, I love how you did the whole Matrix vibe, where you had the different numbers and letters, going right from her face.
Yeah, that's all Dan Hildebrand. We worked with Dan. Actually, Dan did visual effects on a short we shot in 2018 called Yesterdays, where Jenny plays a time traveler, and Clara, who was also in Beyond Control. She was the daughter of Caleb, who was trying to get her to go to college.
Yeah.
She played a younger version of Jenny. So it was Jenny and Mini Jenny, where she would go back in time and try to convince herself to not do time travel. The family connection is persistent. What was the question, Robin? I'm going down memory lane now.
No, I was talking about when Marian was the AI, and when you were filming her, she still had that creepy grin, with the big black demonic eyes. And I loved the Matrix vibe to it, because you had the little series of numbers from the computer screen coming right out of her face, she was really coming out of the computer.
Yeah. Dan, go ahead, Jen.
No, I was going to say, Dan, I think won the Winter Film Award for special effects.
Visual effects, he did for that.
Because of that, and then when I swing the crowbar at her, and her entire body was revealed to be a hologram, and disappears and comes right back, and she says, "That's unfortunate."
Yeah, wait, am I a hologram the whole time? It's confusing, because I'm a hologram at some points. Maybe when my mother decides to swing a crowbar at me, I turn a hologram, and then the rest of the time I'm not.
Jenny, you had fun. You really wanted to hit her with that crowbar just to make it a Black Mirror horror film. You're like, all right, man. This is going to hurt, but I still love you.
It's such a great mother.
I feel like a great mother right now. I'm letting my daughter swear, swinging crowbars at her, making her work all day,
People are so rude to me in films. I die a lot.
You do die a lot in films.
You die a lot in films?
She asked to keep this costume to prank her friends, but I can't let her do it because it's literally covered in blood.
But they have this other outfit that's the same outfit, but it's just not covered in blood. So I want to just wear that and then go over and then just come back with it all bloody.
Yeah, she wants to wear the original costume to play with her friends and then disappear for a few minutes and come back all bloody. And I was like, sweetie, I think somebody will call 911. I don't think you can just show up covered.
Marian, that's the kind of prank I'd play. I fully support it. I'm not a good role. I'm not a good influence.
Hey, I support it too.
I would laugh at that.
I'll film it.
Film it?
Yeah, I'm
that's
like,
what we do, yeah.
Yeah, we should film it. That would be a great idea.
Right.
Yeah, we should do that.
Or also get
stress out suburbia here.
Yeah, get a fake computer screener, have her on there, and then make it like little lifelike, and just do a video and have people go on here to see if this is a real AI or not, and then have it where Marian just pops up and goes, "Hey," and makes them all jump. So, Jerod, have you ever thought about making this into a feature film besides a short?
No, I haven't thought about it. And that's not that, it could definitely be fleshed out to be a bigger story. But that's one of the approaches that, Derek and I take in particular when we write together. Again, Derek, Ann and I worked on the screenplay, and we had a few more folks help because it's a team effort, right? Everybody contributed to the story. But one of the rules that I learned early on is, you start a story in the middle, in media res, right? You get in late, get out early, and try to keep it interesting and engaged on screen. We actually cut an entire page out of the script from the shoot.
Oh, wow.
Where all the characters roll up outside the warehouse in their cars. And we reveal them by the car they drive and the outfits, and we're trying to establish character. And when we sat down and looked at it, we said, we don't need that. We should jump right in. We'll have John show up so we can get a couple of seconds of the exterior to establish, and then we'll jump right into the story. So it's definitely meant to feel like it's part of a bigger world. if you watch the short again, at the beginning when John opens his notebook, there are all these things that he's done. And that was one of the group chat messages we had going. What are some progressively unethical things that this AI could have these people do before they ever get to the warehouse? So there's definitely a bigger story there, but whether we present it on screen or just let the audience create that world in their mind is it's up in the air.
So where can they find you on social media, Jerod, and of course, Jenny?
I'm still on Facebook for a minute. We've got Whispering Demon Productions, although Whispering Demon Productions out on YouTube is probably the better. I don't do a lot of socials outside of LinkedIn that I do for the cybersecurity stuff, but for this, I'd go to YouTube or Facebook, Whispering Demon.
Okay, you, Jenny?
Well, Marian's not actually on social media, but we are on social media for her together just to promote projects that she's done in. So she has an Instagram that's Maymay, which is her nickname, MAE_key. So we update with behind the scenes photos and things when we can, and keep it updated with projects.
Hey, you're being a smart mom. That's good, not letting Marian have her own social media. I mean, there's a lot of creeps out there.
Yeah, I know. I even hesitate to mention it, but since we only really use it for promotional materials, and that, but yeah. No, she's still little. She may swear a lot, but she's still little.
Well, that's good, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Marian does next in the future. See what kind of interesting projects she gets into. And also,
thank you.
And also you too, Jerod. I'm looking forward to seeing. Do you have any other upcoming projects coming out?
Always writing. I'm hoping to shoot another short with Jenny and Maymay here in. I wanted to shoot it this month, but I'm waiting until after my anniversary next month. We got a trip coming up. I want to take time and focus on family and then get back to shooting. And then I've got a bigger piece, Robin, that's it's an exorcism story that I wrote a long time ago.
I love that stuff.
That is about a mom who gets possessed and her daughter has to take care of her. So kind of a reverse of what you see in the classic The Exorcist from Blatty. But that's my passion project. I've waited until I had the people, the experience, the equipment, everything I need to tell the story the way I want to tell it. So that one's coming up soon.
All right. And everybody, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Robin. Really appreciate it.
And everybody, thank you